So for that, we're setting up about 14 hubs across the country, and I think you've experienced one of them that we have here. I wanted to emphasize something. The room has the fewest number of people who are watching this. Right now, our AfroMobile app has about 35,000 people tuned in, looking and watching what we're presenting here. Unfortunately, in the earlier bit of the day, we did not pay good attention to time. So we are going to rectify that and make sure that all our partners receive the same valuable amount of time that we had agreed upon. And maybe to emphasize again, while the room has maybe about 50 people, most of your audience is on TV, it's online, watching this. So even as you speak to them, would like for you to bear that in mind and speak to the audience on TV. Yeah? Yes. I hope Ren, our upcoming partners are ready. Yep.
Ren, then Startup Uganda.
Yes. Can you give the introduction? A very good afternoon, everyone watching us online. My name is Eugene Kavuma, here at Next Media. Welcome to the third edition of the State of the Digital Economy. We like to call it SODE. It's easier, much more economical. I'd like to introduce my co-host.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Angel Kabera from Startup Uganda, and welcome to the afternoon session of SODE 2026.
The much more economical way. So in this afternoon version, we're going to have a very jam-packed session. We're going to have about 10 minutes of our partners sharing with us what they have done within the space, within the last few years. Who is coming up next?
So the first partner that's going to be sharing on what they've been doing in regards to the state of the digital economy is Renu. And I think they should come and speak for themselves and tell us who they are and also the contributions they are adding to this economy and initiative or movement.
So ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the amazing people from Renu.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patience Nagawa, and I work for the Research and Education Network for Uganda. So this afternoon, I'm going to speak about local Ugandan infrastructure that's supporting global minds. So most times, or a while back, when someone spoke about infrastructure, we thought about roads, energy or power, and recently, infrastructure meant fiber or cloud data and things like that. But now, we are speaking about AI. We are speaking about shared infrastructure. And in any economy, today we're speaking about the digital economy. Any economy is built on infrastructure that moves its most valuable assets. Now, digital infrastructure, most times when people mention about digital infrastructure, we might be quick to think about the internet. But the internet is not all. Digital infrastructure is the invisible foundation that lets people, data, platforms, and services to work at a global scale. So when we speak about digital infrastructure, we are talking about reach, right? We've been here speaking about the national backbone infrastructure. Is it reaching everyone to the remotest village that's in the nation? We are speaking about capacity. We've built fiber links, right? But how much bandwidth can we push through those links? How much trust do we have for the networks that we've built? And then we cannot fail to talk about affordability when we speak about the digital infrastructure. This is very important. And before I go further, I would like to tell you about RENU. So RENU is an acronym, and it stands for the Research and Education Network for Uganda. Organizations like RENU do not only exist in Uganda, they exist in every country. And as such, we are part of a global research ecosystem. So every country world over has a RENU-like organization, and the special name for such organizations is National Research and Education Network, NREN in short. So RENU was started in 2006 by a group of vice chancellors and executive directors of research institutions. So they came together, and at the time, the problem was we need to create a network of our own where we can define the quality of connectivity and also make it affordable. And of course, it must be reliable. So this year, RENU turned 20 years. And in these 20 years, RENU has connected over 1,000 sites to the network. Because it is a research and education network, it serves a niche, and the niche is research and education. So the entire ecosystem of research and education, meaning from primary to secondary schools, to universities, and further to the research institutions in this country, the IDIs that do a great job also to support education. So we have built infrastructure, as you will see further in my presentation, and because of the global research ecosystem, we are also able to benefit from global infrastructure. So I'll start with connectivity. The theme of this year's SODE is Beyond Connectivity, and it rhymes well with where RENU is going, our direction for the next years. Because many NRENs around the world, the starting point is always connectivity. But what happens when now connectivity has been solved? I'm not sure we are beyond connectivity yet, because many issues still exist. Maybe we are talking about the last miles, but how about the local area networks? Does every student in every university in this country have access to the Wi-Fi? Or we are only looking at, we've put up big links to all ends of the country and we are good. Maybe there's some work for us to do in that. So RENU, for the case of RENU, we have made some steps when it comes to digital infrastructure and specifically connectivity. We now have a backbone that can push up to 200 Gbps. And if you're asking yourself what 200 Gbps is, a unit of measure, the common one that you might relate to is Mbps. You've seen many ISPs advertising 10 Mbps, 20 Mbps. So a unit, if we consider the unit of measure, a single unit as 1 Mbps, then 200 Gbps is referring to 200,000 of the units of measure of internet. This is so big. But what is special with this is that because we've created a network that serves this research and education community, there are certain things we are able to make possible. For example, we do not, institutions or members that are part of the RENU community can enjoy local connectivity up to this capacity. This is because local connectivity is uncapped. And further still, we know we still have challenges when it comes to power or energy. It's still unreliable. We've made attempts to solve this, and we came up with a smart solution, which is a solar-powered router, and these are available. You can get one for yourself. Going on, still around connectivity, and this is very specific to RENU because there's no other organization that's not an NREN, as I explained earlier, that can give you this. Now, when I walked into this room, I did not bother to look for anyone to give me any credentials to connect to the network because there's Eduroam. Eduroam is a Wi-Fi. If you check your phone, you will see there's Eduroam broadcasting here. And it stands for education roaming. The idea is simple, that we are in this community. When I move from Makerere University and I go over to Mbarara University, I should not struggle to look for a password because the community is the same. And this is what we're talking about, infrastructure. It should be shareable. We should all be able to use it. So EduRoam is just a Wi-Fi for education roaming. It is not only in Uganda. Any university you go to in Europe, in the US, there's EduRoam. But also we brought this here in Uganda. So we have EduRoam on campus. We have extended EduRoam beyond the university or campus borders to student hostels, and we call that Metro EduRoam. We've also put it in certain places where students can meet up and they're still able to go about their work. But also, we have come up with an interesting solution, which I believe would work more for the university staff, because they will not go around looking for the hotspots in the hostels or at petrol stations and cafes. And this is it, EduRoam on the go. So this device is special because it broadcasts EduRoam. It is a MiFi, but a special MiFi. And as we speak about local infrastructure that is enabling global minds, EduRoam becomes very critical. And I have some statistics here. Here I just picked how many people came from outside Uganda to Uganda and used EduRoam. This is the global research ecosystem that I was talking about, that you have an asset here, you have infrastructure here that is useful for everyone. So they come here, they connect. When you go over to their universities, you also get connected to the internet. All right. And now, beyond connectivity, we are looking at digital identities. So in digital identities, this mainly serves researchers. And as you can see on this bar graph, something significant happens in 2025. And this is when we launched the OCID for researchers. An OCID is just an identifier. It's a persistent identifier for researchers. And the goal is to ensure that every researcher has a persistent ID that tracks everything they have done, all the work they have done. So there are very few in the past years, I think until 2025, you can see there were really few and not growing, but RENU launched a consortium of OCID where different researchers can plug in and benefit from this. And we can see the results in 2025. Still on digital identities, when you travel out of the country or anywhere, you use a passport. So as we grow this digital infrastructure, how are we going to identify that we are dealing with a one patient from RENU, that we are dealing with this staff, but he works for Muni University, he works for Kabaale University. So digital identities is what we are putting a lot of effort on. And it's simple, trust. Well, we have built infrastructure. I just explained about. We verify that this and this student is from this university. That's at a campus level. But also at a country level, we need to verify that we are dealing with the right person, and also globally. So this infrastructure feeds into, the campus one feeds into the local one and the country level one, and further to the global one. All right. And also going on, we have built a cloud. So we have partnered with Makerere University and the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, spin up a national AI cloud. So we've been talking a lot about AI, but I think we are doing more of consumption when it comes to AI. What are the researchers doing with AI? They're paying a lot of money to be able to run their data sets, train their models outside the country. So what we are doing is to be able to have a cloud here with enough compute to enable our researchers to be able to do their work as well as students. But beyond that, we also have a cloud that has been in existence for over 10 years. And we realized early enough that not everyone is able to buy a physical server. So why don't we build a cloud, and everyone that is not able to get a physical server, they can get a virtual machine and do what they have to do. All right, so as I conclude, what we've seen with the infrastructure we've built is that we see a student as far as Moon University, Kawale University, able to reach a global lab. We have also witnessed a doctor in Chavira Hospital, this is in Ginger, conduct an operation online guided by doctors in the US via telemedicine. This is the power of infrastructure, local infrastructure. And you might have seen this already. The gentleman from UCC talked about it. It is both an opportunity and a risk. It is only a risk if it remains unevenly distributed. And so here is the big pivot, that the pivot should be from digital consumption to digital creation. So we change from being consumers of global platforms to exporting and sharing Ugandan solutions with the rest of the world. And there are certain things that we must do. Deliberate investment, keeping local traffic. We're speaking about internet exchange points. We're speaking about using the research and education as the innovation engine. It was good. I heard that the ministry has set up hubs around universities. This is good because innovation actually starts from the universities. So the future is local and the impact is global. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Renu.
Thank you so much, Renu. Perhaps when it comes to time, how do we manage this?
I will be sending a few cues here, but we also have a stopwatch over here to guide all our presenters coming forward. Let's please be mindful so that we can have every partner given the platform to share about their work. So let's keep it to 10 minutes or under 10 minutes. And then we'll have the people at the newsroom control the slides if you exceed the 10 minutes. Yeah. So we're getting strict about it. And on that note, I'd like to invite Rachel Athiano from Startup Uganda. You want to give an introduction? On behalf of Startup Uganda, of course. So Startup Uganda is an umbrella association that gathers innovation and entrepreneurship support organizations. And Rachel Athiano runs the Startup Uganda Secretariat, which operationalizes our work.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you very much. Okay, that's me smiling, yeah? So my name is Rachel Athiano. I am representing an ecosystem today. I'm here on behalf of all entrepreneur support organizations. I'm here on behalf of all innovators, startups, development partners, and anyone who is working so hard to support the innovation and technology space in Uganda. So we have a presentation which I want to take you through. But before that, I'm sure you recognize some of these logos. We have SafeBorder, we have Flutterwave, Numida, Easy Greek, and all these are Ugandan innovations. And Uganda does not lack innovations, as everyone has been saying. You'll find founders, you'll find incubators, you'll find accelerators, investors. Everyone is trying to innovate in this country. And we have the talent. We have people building in agriculture, we have people building in health, fintech, education, climate, manufacturing, and today the minister talked about energy and minerals. So I want you to look very closely at all these logos. Again, as you read through, you're going to have to recognize some of them. We had one of our members speak earlier before, who is Refactory. But I want to tell you a story before we even continue further. Imagine a young entrepreneur in Arua, Gulu, Soroti, or wherever they're working from, and they built a solution that could transform healthcare, improve all the other sectors that I've talked about, or even create jobs for thousands of Ugandans. And they have the talent, they have the determination, they've interacted with some bit of technology, and somewhere along that journey, they get stuck. Where they're getting stuck is they're struggling to find investment. They're struggling to find support in terms of which incubation or innovation space they should work with. They struggle to navigate regulations. They're struggling to access markets. Government doesn't even know if they exist, and investors can't find them. Development partners are working with a few that have access. So eventually, another brilliant idea dies, and it has not been supported to its full potential. So the problem was never the entrepreneur. The problem was the ecosystem that is surrounding this entrepreneur, and that's why we exist. So where we have all these logos here, including Makere Incubation Hub, we have Hive, we have Start Hub. All these people cannot come here and exhibit. That's why we're here today, to show the work that they do. So these are some of our members at Startup Uganda, and we're very proud to associate with all of them. They are the incubation centers or the organizations that are trying to support entrepreneurs to build in this ecosystem. Everyone has talked about these numbers today, so I really don't want to go through it, but if we have over 73% under 30, and we have over 700,000 young Ugandans who are trying to scale or even absorb into the technology sector. And that's why Uganda, that's why Startup Uganda exists. So ours is to collaborate. I've talked about the entrepreneur, I've talked about the entrepreneur support organizations, I've talked about the startups, but then there's government, for example. There's investors, there's startup founders, there's the private sector, academia, and media, and especially Next Media, who is trying to promote the tech space in Uganda. We are the coordinator of all these sectors. And what we do is that we make sure that every one of these works together to support the entrepreneur or the founder in Uganda. And what we want to do is make sure that a founder in Gulu deserves the same opportunity as one in Kampala. We want to show innovation, and it should not depend on who you know, as the norm goes in this country. We want to show that technology, or even highlight some of the technologies that are being developed, that they're real and they are solving real community problems. And also right now, some of the things that we're working on is policy with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Cooperatives and Trade. So policy should enable entrepreneurs and not slow them down. And again, collaboration is the key to make sure that everything works together. So if you are out there and you're a startup founder, or if you're a member hub, innovation hub, or even government, we work with STI, we work with Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Finance, and all the other government MDAs. If you're an investor, if you're in academia, if you're a development partner, private sector, and media, you need to Google the Startup Uganda so that we find a way to work together to bring the ecosystem to collaborate. So these are, at the end of the day, all we want is collective influence and one coordinated ecosystem where everyone talks to the other so that we can be able to connect and develop technology for this country. And what we want to do is reduce the fragmentation. We want to reduce most of these duplicated efforts. We want to reduce the limited founder visibility. There's been a lot of talk today about data, but how about we find a way to merge all this data so that it can benefit whoever we are trying to serve. Policy gaps, limited investment readiness, limited collaboration, and even regional support. So what we do at Startup Uganda basically is that we are working together with government to create a safe environment for entrepreneurs to innovate. We work with venture capitalists and other support systems to make sure that Uganda creates an investment-ready environment for founders and innovators to get together and work and innovate. We advocate for collaboration, technology, and innovation, and all those need to be practical so that we can be able to improve lives and create jobs and drive the economic transformation. So we recently met the minister. I think you see some of the pictures. And what we're trying to do is if we can coordinate the ecosystem actors and convene them to talk about the biggest challenges that we have in this ecosystem, if we can build the right partnerships, strengthen the support organizations that are available and lead national initiatives, or even contribute to driving communication and support policy engagement, we believe that we are going to make sure that this ecosystem is thriving, especially around the digital economy, but also improving how we interact with the informal sector and also contributing to the digital spaces. So this is our shared agenda, and I've already talked about this. And that's it. This is why we're here today. So I don't know who has heard about Uganda Innovation Week, but it is really happening 9th to 13th of November, and the site is live. So you can visit www.ugandainnovationweek or uiw.ug to get more information about how you can participate or work with us to bring technology to life and also show your business and work together with entrepreneurs in Uganda. What we want to do is that we want to go beyond regional hubs or the Kampala metropolitan area. We want to build a trusted ecosystem partnership. We want to make sure that we are a destination for investment and also a launch pad for African innovation. So there you go again, Uganda Innovation Week. For the online audiences, I think you can Google now so that you can start learning more about how to participate. And founders will be meeting investors, government will be meeting entrepreneurs, and ideas will meet opportunities. If you've had your idea for a long time and you want it to get to a scale where it's being noticed, Uganda Innovation Week, yeah? And then this is where ecosystems are going to convene and connect so that we celebrate innovations at a national level. So reach out, and thank you very much. Oh, that was hard to speak within those 10 minutes, yeah? Especially if you know that I know how to talk. Thank you so much, and welcome to SODE 2026.
Rachel, shameless plugging. I hope we have all gone to the website. It is the Uganda Innovation Week, uiw.org. So I hope you check that out. Our next partners are from the Defenders Protection Initiative, Uganda. And the conversation that they'll be having with us for the next 10 minutes is on building a digital economy that includes, identifies, and protects everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Noeline Nasuna. Is that you? Yes, please.
Digital citizens, thank you so much for being here for the SODE 2026. My name is Noeline Nasuna Kabale, and I work as the Communications Executive at Defenders Protection Initiative. At DPI, we believe that technology should improve lives, it should improve businesses, it should improve economic services, it should be part of everyone's life. But that's not our only belief. More of our belief is it should be safe. DPI is just not another NGO or civil society organization that you hear out there. It's Uganda's premier, trusted homegrown partner dedicated to building digital security, cybersecurity awareness, digital resilience, data protection, digital wellness, and digital trust. Yeah. At DPI, our work is around 6 tiers. mainly capacity building, where we take you through executive trainings, both all institutions, organizations, simulations, and organization readiness. If you've had a chance to walk to the booth outside there, you are able to go through different simulations like phishing, knowing your password. The speaker from NITAU here mentioned that most of us here are just used to putting our birth dates as our passwords. We are putting names of our spouses, our children, just something that you can't remember. So something that you can easily remember. But that exposes us to so many risks. So at DPI, if you pass by our booth outside there, you're going to be able to actually get to know how easily your password can be cracked. Please make sure you pass there and get to simulate and test that. We also do digital security clinics like the one outside there, which offers very ground level support to SMEs, cooperatives, and all groups, open to everyone. We do risk assessments. Risk assessment is where we come to your organization, to your institute, and get to understand what possible threats could occur to you. We do organizational tooling where we help teams adopt genuine software, safe workflows, and trusted tools. We also do cyber testing tools that is outside at our booth, and digital wellness. Most of us would be wondering, what do you mean by digital wellness? How many of you, if you were on the internet last week, you must have had a situation that got you broken? One, you open your phone, you're seeing the kids that got an accident. Next, before that, other kids have an accident. Others, people are fighting. Then you get that kind of back anxiety, the stress. So we take you through a digital recovery system that can help you actually, how do you use these digital platforms without being overwhelmed, stressed, depressed, and all that. So as we are here at the set of the digital economy, our argument is simple. Digital growth only lasts when people trust it. We are coming up with 3 principles where we talk about digital inclusion. Once we talk about digital inclusion, the group CEO mentioned that up to Tungamo, they can be able to access the internet, they can be able to access all the digital services. But at Defenders Protection Initiative, we are saying inclusion is not possible if people do not trust it. Inclusion, we cannot come up and say digital inclusion is successful when the digital platforms are not safe. That is where we come in with digital security, cyber security awareness, and to see that everyone that is using a digital phone, a digital platform, a digital system is safe and can be able to know how to respond to the attacks that come on these platforms. I'll give you the simplest way is if you woke up today, got a car, you got to a bond buy a car, and you have no driving permit, you don't know how to drive, and you're on the road on express, what could happen? That is what digital platforms are. You woke up today, you got some car money, went to a shop, bought an iPhone, a Samsung, you have a phone, but you don't know how to use it securely. So that's where we talk about the digital inclusion. For us at DPI, we believe we are not inclusive if these digital platforms are not safe, are not secure, and that's the difference we bring into the digital sector, digital security and cyber security, to see that every user is confident. Are you able to see a phishing attack? Are you able to know that this is a scam? Many of us in this room and on the screens that are watching us are still pressing links to win KFC for free. Some of us are still pressing links to get 20 GBs for free because we do not know. And that if we are still doing that as a community, then it shows we are not being inclusive. So many business owners have online businesses on TikTok. TikTok is making a lot of money. People are selling a lot of products. Some are going on live to sell their products. But what happens at that time? Imagine waking up, you have over 50K followers, and the next day your account has been taken down. That's the inclusivity we need to talk about in the digital economy. How safe can people be able to protect their accounts, the platforms they're using to sell goods, so that they can continue selling them without being hacked. Then when we talk about digital identity, identity is no longer about your password. It's no longer about your national ID or your passport. Identity is your email, it's your contact, the birth dates you're putting there on your digital platforms. It's about the photos we are uploading on these digital platforms. And to talk about a very progressive digital economy, we must talk about people's digital identities that are on this platform. If you woke up today, the next day, and we have another Next Media account or another NBS account that is selling products onto these platforms, you'll find that at a point, if someone creates another identity of you and they are doing it much better than you, they're going to take your name, they're going to take your business, they're going to take your clients, and even your finances. So while we are talking about the digital economy, how are we securing our identities? How safe are we protecting these identities so that they are safe enough and cannot be taken down by the digital harms that we are currently facing? The next is data protection. We must be compliant. We talk about compliance, that most organizations daily must be complying. We all collect data. How are we using this data? How good is this data for all of us? And how strong are we able to store it so that it can thrive in the digital economy? I already talked about the digital resilience, and like the past speakers, we have talked about these numbers. We all have the smartphones, we are using them, but how, with over 34 million active mobile subscriptions, how safe are we? That is where Defenders Protection Initiative is coming in, to see that every smartphone holder, every digital platform user is safe, secure, and trusts the platform that they are using. So when we talk about technology without a trust, because if it's not safe, then there is no trust. It becomes a trap. With the digital growth, mobile money, we also the effect of the mobile money blackout recently. So many people could not transact. So when we talk about human vulnerability, the phishing, the scams, the theft, and the national risk to citizens, investors can't invest here if they do not trust our digital systems. We also, just to be in time, when we talk about a stolen identity that I talked about, your identities, we need to know that a stolen identity creates fake opportunities for people out there. It's taking people's contacts, because now your digital footprint are your contacts that you're putting on these digital platforms. It can lead to family fraud, where scammers are impersonating the victims and asking for monies. Most of us have experienced this. They steal someone's phone, get into the phone, and they're asking you for money. And loan abuse. We have seen people, the loan apps that keep calling you because someone put you as a next of kin, then they're telling you, please, tell a person to pay our money, something like that. So we need to weaponize and see that the digital identities we are putting out there are very safe for each digital users. And that's the gap Defenders Protection Initiative is actually filling in the digital space. And with the rise of AI, we can see that AI can accelerate the economy if we trust it is creating opportunities, but it's coming with the risks, because the tools it's giving, some people are misusing them. And while the country is trying to develop the digital economy, even the hackers are thinking way forward. They are thinking deeper. How can we come up and destroy this economy that people are building? And again, that's where DPI is standing and saying, well, people are getting the smartphones, the hackers are thinking, even as a Defenders Protection Initiative, we are trying to think and see that everyone stays safe, secure on these digital platforms. And like we said, we are building a safe internet. History is not going to judge us about the digital spaces that everyone in Uganda digitized. History is going to ask us how many people stayed safe on this digital system. So join us, Defenders Protection Initiative, as we are trying to see that everyone is safe on the digital platform, so that we build a safe, secure, inclusive digital economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nolin. It's very important to make sure that the people within the system are looked after well. Because even if you build a really dope system, but there are no human beings to leverage it, you've done so much for nothing. Yeah? Our presenters from Milima Security, we won the campaign in 2025. They need to tell us how this amazing campaign, there's no industry that grows if it is not secure. And Milima Security are one of the top players in the cybersecurity space that we have in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emmanuel Chagara.
Good afternoon to the members in the room, the viewers online. Hope we are all having a great experience with the state of digital economy. My name is Emmanuel Chagara. I am the CEO of Milima Security. Milima Security is a Ugandan cybersecurity company, ISO certified, with an extensive experience in providing cybersecurity services across the East African region. One of the exciting products that we have built is called Grey Armor. And I want you, as you exit this space, make it a point to pass by and visit the team there and learn more about Grey Armor and its capabilities to defend your infrastructure from diverse forms of cyber attacks. This is a very deep tech threat intelligence tool that we have built, one of the first in East Africa. So you will see and be amazed. But I am here to talk about something else, and that is you, the people. When we're building cybersecurity, when we're talking about resilience across infrastructure, across the digital economy, we must look at the people. For you to build an effective digital economy, you're looking at technologies, you're looking at processes and policies, but you're also looking at the people, the users, who for some reason remain one of the most ignored. That's why from 2019, Milima has been progressively conducting national cybersecurity awareness campaigns. We have grown over the years, partnered with Next Media, plus many other industry partners to deliver some of the most impactful cybersecurity campaigns across the country. Last year, we conducted a campaign that reached over 10 million Ugandans. And that's what I want to talk about. This is the cybersecurity awareness campaign of Milima, which happens every year in October. And throughout the 30 days, we go through a very intensive awareness campaign, talking about fraud, talking about cyber threats, and helping people to appreciate the basics. Because when we are not able to address the basics, we can always talk about malware, ransomware, make sure you have the strongest firewall systems, all we want, and it will amount to nothing. The one click that some funny stuff of yours will make is the one that will bring you down. I cannot count how many organizations have called us in when they had robust infrastructure, they had a strong security team, but one single incident led to a ransomware attack that cost the organization significant amount of losses, financial, time, some even legal issues. So the people element in cybersecurity is very essential. And that is why we embarked on this campaign to create mass awareness across the country on issues of cybersecurity. Now, this campaign was not just any other campaign. In the past, we had prioritized Kampala. So we had stayed in Kampala. We speak a lot of nice English here and hope that the 48 million Ugandans are transformed. And of course, as we know, that is a drop in the ocean. So last year, we changed the tactics and we said, let's go out. Let's take the message to the markets. Let's take the message to the streets. Let's go to where the Ugandans are doing businesses and let's approach the conversation from there. For us to do this, we partnered with several institutions. Among the key partners was MTN Uganda, plus several other partners. Ministry of ICT was there, National ICT Innovation Hub, Liquid Intelligent Technologies, Ecotel, among others. And we conducted a nationwide campaign reaching areas of Lira, Mbale, Mbarara. But we did not only go to these places, we were speaking in local languages, translating a cyber attack into Leblon. So how do you ensure that a phishing attack is understood in Runyankore? Yeah? I need someone in the room to tell me that. So over 30 days, we were able to feature in several radio talk shows, TV talk shows. We held 4 regional symposiums, which attracted business partners, students, members from business communities across these districts, overall reaching extensively across all those regions. But when we are thinking about the impact and the journey ahead, it's very important for us to appreciate where we stand as a country. For example, Uganda, as we know, has over 45.7 million active subscribers. That is almost close to the population of Uganda. But of course, we know that that doesn't represent that every single person, every single subscriber is the same person. It's not representing the same. So 45.7, 35.6 million mobile money subscriptions. About 17 million Ugandans are on the internet. And in total, we transact over 326 trillion shillings on mobile money every year. That's how intense the volume of our transactions are. And if this is true, then we must understand that the threats have moved away from what we would classify as the banks, and now the threats are in our hands, okay? For a very long time, the misconception that many of us have had about cyber attacks is that it is something that is isolated for the banks, the big telcos, the guys who have the money. What business does cyber attack have with me running a small shop, selling my food, receiving a few payments on mobile money? What business does it have with me, an old woman farming in Rukunjiri? I receive a few produce payments through mobile money, go to the market, pay off stuff, send money to maybe my daughter in Kampala. What business does cyber attack have with that? But when we get to face these numbers, you realize and appreciate the fact that cyber attacks can happen to anyone, and all of us should become conscious of these threats. And this is what inspired this campaign. So, what did we learn in this campaign? And this is what I want to dwell on for the rest of my presentation. Because whereas we had our own opinion about what we think Ugandans should know about fraud and cyber attacks, we learned something else, okay? Firstly, the real vulnerability was not where we usually look. We now found that people are not thinking about cyber attacks from the place of ransomware attacks, from the place of spyware attacks. People are thinking about cyber attacks from a place of trust. Can I trust this? Can I trust this message? Can I trust this video? Can I trust this link? And this was one of the biggest questions that we were able to answer across the entire campaign. You see that, for example, a message pops in, a mobile money prompt comes in, a business advert comes in, a voice note comes in, and we're thinking, and someone is wondering, how true is this? This, in a way, should help us understand exactly what's the kind of messaging that we should be pushing out to Ugandans if we're talking about awareness. You coming to tell me that someone could be seeing you through your laptop, someone could be seeing you. Yeah, I know, but how does that keep me up from sleeping? Okay? But something can keep me up from sleeping if the mobile money message I'm not sure of leads to my mobile money disappearing. That is something that can keep me up at night. Okay? So we then get to appreciate that cybersecurity is actually by far a trust problem rather than a technical problem. okay? Now, what were some of these key learning areas? Number one, we see that trust is not just something we speak about. It should be a function of our cyber perimeter. Big tech providers in Uganda, such as MTN Mobile Money, have for a long time faced the pressure of dealing with questions of, did you guys steal my money? How did my money disappear? And these were some of the biggest questions they were also answering in the field during the campaign. As I could quote the former CEO of MTN Momo, who said that trust is everything. Once trust is broken, even the most innovative product loses value. So digital trust is now the currency of the modern. So we get to realize that cyber awareness must protect the infrastructure that we're building. This, from that point of view, cyber awareness should go beyond just, for lack of a better word, I'm going to use the word scaremongering, okay? We shouldn't be scaremongering Ugandans. We should be helping them to build trust in the infrastructure that we are building. Okay. Screen display. Sorry? Oh, my time is up. Oh. I didn't know that. Yeah, so in summary, I want to say that from then on, we realized that when we're building technologies, when we're creating awareness, we should think beyond spreading the message of this is how cyber attacks work. We should go to the position of talking about trust, talking about sustainability for our infrastructure. And that is why we have even gone ahead to now expand this campaign. This year, we are going to 6 other regions looking to impact over 15 million Ugandans. And that will include Kabale and Arua, plus many others. We're working with the National ICT Innovation Hub, among others. And so this is the initiative that I would want to interest you in. So I do look forward to seeing all of you be a partner to this campaign when we reach into your regions. Of course, closely with the Next Media, we can see the transformation in terms of awareness across the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that presentation. And up next, I'd like to invite NSSF, Mr. Fred Percy Chissa, to share on trust, AI, and all of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Teacher, I dreaded lessons in the afternoon. And I used to teach physics math. So you can imagine the afternoon. Can we do a bit of exercise? Okay. Let's stand up. Now say a rhyme. Good. Let's go. Head, shoulders, knees. Audience. Even those viewing us online, please, let's go. Head, shoulders. Head, knee. Quicker. Thank you. Can I? So from morning, we've been listening. A lot of technical information, a lot of statistics, and I think that we have enough statistics and information around trust, AI, security. I think that I would like to spin it up a bit and start with a story. Do you like stories? Yeah, I think let's see a story. And first go from the statistics, and we've gotten enough of it. So talking about trust, data, AI as foundations for an inclusive digital economy, something comes in mind for me. I'll give you a story about Namlindwa. So Namlindwa is our customer from Mubende. True story. Namlindwa used to earn revenue physically, earnings, in the market store. They come, they pay cash, she keeps it. She didn't have access to Social Security, and she used to save physically. She didn't even have a bank account. So guess what used to happen to Namlindwa's savings? As soon as a call comes in and there's someone who has a problem at home, a neighbor, a relative, the savings go. Some of us know that story. When the money is with you, that's what would happen. So, but even accessing the nearest branches was hard. So saving was tough. So what happened is that we moved a journey with Namlindwa. So she had a feature phone, USSD phone, Kabiriti. So what we did is to enable her register using USSD. Then we helped her contribute using her feature phone, using the prompts. And then she could be able to check her balance on the feature phone Kabiriti. Namlindwa was so excited and happy to see that this could happen. So success is sweet. At her store, the store expanded. She moved to Central Market, Mubende. Then Namlindwa got a smartphone. Are we seeing progress? From a Kabiriti feature phone, got a smartphone. When Namlindwa got a smartphone, we downloaded the NSSF Go app for her. And we took her throughout to use it. Namlindwa was excited. We introduced her to Smart Life, our voluntary product where you can save as low as 10,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings. Namlindwa saw her savings grow. Using the AI-powered engine, we could show and project how her savings are going to grow. Namlindwa's saving habits improved tremendously, and she started saving. So when Namlindwa wanted to reach us, we gave her our Sanyu chatbot. It was able to advise her how, whatever question she had, the chatbot could advise and guide her. When she wanted to open up other wallets, she reached out and the chatbot could be able to help. And she opened other wallets. As we speak right now, Namlindwa is able, she's saving for her house. She wants to build a house. She has a wallet that saves for her education of the children, and she has a wallet that saves for the business. In fact, Namlindwa made a withdrawal towards injecting more capital in the business. Now, Namlindwa trusts the digital journey, and that has changed her life. Now she's sure about her future in Social Security and her family. That's a life transformed, and Namlindwa is an ambassador telling the rest of the people. This is a story of one Namlindwa in the formal sector. There are so many border riders and so many other people in the formal sector that are being touched digital and are trusting. Trust doesn't have to be spoken when you're dealing with AI and data and digital. You must demonstrate it. People like Namlindwa, that's one customer, one journey. So when I come here to talk about AI, data, and trust, I think we can best understand it through such an example. So at the back of all this that is happening, there are tools that are being used. There's technology, there's everything, but Namlindwa doesn't want to know about it. Just needs to know I can access my savings when I need them. I can register when I'm at my store. I don't miss out on business, and so on. So right now, currently, Namlindwa, for her to get another wallet, Talia reached out to Namlindwa. That's our AI outbound. Reached out to her, told her about these new updates in Smart Life, the new products. Namlindwa managed to open up other wallets. And when she needed more advice that is personalized, she went to the Sanyu chatbot that guided her through. How do you withdraw? How do you do? So it provided her with financial literacy. Okay? And we kept encouraging her through our AI nudges. You're right now saving very well, you're on track, you're behind, you're doing well. It's a journey, it's a conversation, it's a partnership, it's a relationship, and such is the story of Namlindwa. But behind all that, what is the engine? That's what we are talking about today. You've heard that story. Behind that story is trust. It means that Namlindwa now trusts us. When we talk about digital, when we talk about AI, when we talk about it, now Namlindwa knows the value. From physical to feature phone, community USSD to smartphone, she's able to see everything anywhere and withdraw instantly. So gone are the days where people think that to qualify for your NSF, you need to be 50, retired, there's a product for everyone. Now we have a product where you can save an amount anytime and withdraw and access money anytime. And that is a story that is happening in the informal sector. So it's digital helps you to reach out to as many as you can. You build the trust, use the data to see that you have responsible AI. The key word is responsible AI. It must be ethical. It must be human in the loop. It must be for the good of humanity. And Namlindwa should be able to see that this AI, this data, is helping her be a better saver, better Ugandan, take care of her family better, and her business growing better. So the starting question is not what AI can do, what tools, what can we do? No. The question is, how do we change Namlindwa's life? How do we solve the problems around the majority of the population, the informal sector? And of course, a lot of presenters, before I won't go through the other slides, they've told us what investment government has done. All this has been possible because government has invested in digital infrastructure, data protection and privacy. A lot of background information has been done. Nita, you told us what they've done. The Minister of ICT and National Guidance and the Permanent Secretary told us what has been done. So let us embrace and use this infrastructure and investment by government to see that we are not consumers of digital tools, AI, and so on, but we are impacting lives. And I think that is the call that is here. This has been an example, one of the many of how at NSSF, we've managed to transform lives, impact lives, when they don't even know the technologies behind. They don't want to hear about AI. They don't even understand it. So I'll tell you that trust is what the compound interest for the economies. Trust is the compound interest that makes digital transformation have impact on ground. Trust is the valuable outcome of all these digital transformation initiatives that we do. So let us go out there, let us transform lives using technology. The people we are dealing with, the majority of the population in the village where the solution that need the solutions do not understand the technologies, but they will see the value, they will appreciate it. Thank you.
We've had two teachers speak to us today, and I think we can see the difference. We had Fred and Michael from Refactory. Thank you so much for that engaging session. And up next, I'd like to invite Fincom Technologies. Charity, are you in the room with us to share on financial infrastructure and what Fincom is doing for the financial infrastructure for Uganda? You're welcome, Charity.
All right, good afternoon to everyone. We've had lunch, some energy. Okay, so for Fincom, today I'm just going to showcase one of the things that we have created in regards to Uganda's financial infrastructure. And what I'm talking about is Uganda's financial infrastructure, which is a patchwork of systems that do not speak to each other. But what we have done is we have created a layer that connects them. That's what we have done at Fincom Technologies. Now, at Fincom, we are a regulated entity, and we've created a solution which many of you know more than you know about FinCom. And the solution we've created is called SchoolPay, and it is an education value chain platform. So like I've said, we are a regulated entity. We are wholly owned by Service Corps Limited, which has been in existence for 17 years. But as FinCom, we've been in existence since the law passed of NPA, the NPA Act passed, which is since 2022. We have created a platform that most of you know as SchoolPay. And what this platform does is that it enables a school that is enrolled to make students that are enrolled in that school that is enrolled on SchoolPay to make payments digitally. Most of you know, I can't say most of you, then the ones who are as old as me, we used to have very long queues in the bank, in the banking halls towards opening of school terms. And of course, we would have to travel long distances to get to the nearest branch. And some of the things that were there back then, if you are a very clever child, if your parents gave you money at that time, you'd probably use it for other things and then forge a receipt or things like that. And you could only make payments during the time when the bank would be open. So there was a lot of risk. What if you're carrying cash and then, you know, you're robbed and things like that? You spend the money as you have to spend like 30,000, like in the deep rural areas, you'd have to spend 30,000 to go to the nearest branch. So those are some of the pain points that we saw when we started this platform, and we were trying to solve for some of those issues. So what we created was a platform that enables the school to have real-time view of the transactions that are coming in. And of course, we've talked about the parents, there are normal queues. You can pay school fees for your child anywhere, anytime. You can access the fees balances on your mobile. You have instant notifications, and the school also gets the same value. And they are able to also receive money straight into their bank account as soon as the parent makes the payment. So we have managed to connect the bank to the school and the parent to the school to the bank. So we are in the middle there, and we are enabling all that. Now, we started this 10 years ago, and we were solving for issues like the long queues at the bank branches. But what has happened over the years is that we have evolved to create an enterprise resource platform for the school. The school is able to manage all its administrative needs on the platform. They are able to do accounting, they are able to do report cards, they are able to do inventory, everything on the platform as it is. And over the years, because we have collected all this information, we are able to even come up with better value for the parents. That we are working with different partners, which I was talking about systems talking to each other. We are working with different partners to enable, for example, a parent who is not able to pay the school fees in full at the beginning of the term to go to school fees, to school pay school fees, and then ask for a school fees loan. What happens is that when you ask for a school fees loan, you will get a loan, but it will not come to your wallet. It will go straight to to pay school fees. We have also come up with other solutions, knowing that there are parents who earn income on a daily in the markets, wherever you are. You and you decide that I want to be able to save, say, 5,000 shillings a day towards school fees of my child. So we have enabled that to happen because your child has a school code, a school pay code that you can save money to, and at the end of whatever period, you're able to get some of that money and make a school fees payment. While you're saving, this money makes a little bit of interest. So when you're trying to pay school fees, if you have 100,000, you can top up from your savings, and it does not come to you in the wallet, because we know as Ugandans, we like to misuse money. So it goes directly to pay school fees for your child. So those are some of the things that we have managed to come up from the time we started with just making school fees payments, but now we have been able to create more value with the things that we are doing, like savings and like pocket money, for instance. You now, as a parent, if your child is in boarding school, you do not have to send money to a teacher who will probably use the money and not give the child all the money at once, but you can send, using that same payment code, send pocket money to the child, and the child will go to the canteen and actually transact cashless with their card or with their wristband. So those are some of the things that we've been able to do, but we have not been able to do these things alone. We have created a layer, and the banks and other partners have connected to us, and we have been able to offer these solutions. And it is also like I said, we've created a whole ERP for the schools, so they are able to get all the things that they need just in one platform. Now, the schools also, we noticed that there is a need for financing for these schools. So these schools have been on school pay for 10 years. We are able to see that this is how much they collect, these are the banks they use, and then we have worked with the banks to enable them to access financing through the platform. Financing that would originally, if you go to the bank, take you 1 week to access. With the school pay platform, now you're able to access it within 48 hours. So these are some of the things that we are trying to do to make, solve problems that are in our society. And the good thing is that we are the very people. These are our problems, but we're solving them ourselves. This is a homegrown product. It is not from outside Uganda. It is built by our children, your children that you've actually taken to school, and these are the brains behind this product. So these are the people that we work with. We are able to work with all of them because, like I said, we are a layer that is just bringing together everyone, and we are solutioning for the education sector. So thank you for listening to me. I hope if you have not yet gone onto the platform, please call us and we will be able to enable you enroll onto this platform. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Charity. We had 19 seconds left, so I appreciate you for managing your time. Up next, I'd like to invite the one and the only Eugene Kavuma from Next Creator to share his pitch. Eugene, you're reminded to stay under 10 minutes, like all the other partners, so that we can have platform for everybody else. Thank you.
It's interesting that I was reminded to. Oh, the clock has started. Good afternoon. So you're here with us today at a media house, but obviously it didn't start here. I think it was March 10th, 1876. There was a gentleman called Alexander Graham Bell. He designed the telephone. And when he did that, he made the first transatlantic call on the 10th of March. After that, phone calls started to become a normal thing, right? A few years after that, radio also became a thing. People started to listen to radio and consume a lot of information that way. Again, broadcasting, people consuming. Then television came along as well. When television came along, it created shared experiences. For those of us who are old enough, we remember things such as That's Life Mwatu. We also remember things such as Sunset Beach. What television did is that because there was a shared experience, when you went to school or when you went to hang out, all of you had a similar conversation that you could have. And then social media came. Yeah. But before, just when you look at radio and TV, what was happening is that content was being created by institutions such as ourselves and disseminated, shared out. It was a one-way street. Also, it was limited geographically. The conversations that are happening on a TV, what was the TV then? The one of UTV, were very specific to the geographic location of Uganda. Yeah. And so it would be a different conversation happening here versus, what's happening in Kenya. And when social media came along, we had a total disappearance of physical borders. And now, as a result of social media, we are now in the age of the creator. So my next 7 minutes are purely going to be about what it is that we're doing as Next Media to support the creator. Who is the creator? How important, what's their value to you as an entity, as a business, and how can you leverage the opportunities that creators have generated? So that's the history I was talking about, that when we started from the phone call, we went to the radio, to the TV, and now on social media. The creator, if you know them, does quite a number of things. They can build trust in a brand. Yeah, they can build a community. I think if we are imagining right now, we can think of people such as Bad Black and people such as Ankomo. And you see that they are able to build a different kind of community around them. They are able to influence and generate content that pushes certain agenda. That is who the creator is. The creator has decentralized influence and has moved it away primarily from us onto the individuals. Because the other thing that social media did is that it turned people who are just consuming, who are just consuming the radio content, who are just consuming the TV content, into people who remix it. They get it, they turn it into memes, they make it their own thing. Yeah? These people have now have the capacity to change how you think about something as complicated as the finance bill. I think across the border, there's a bunch of our friends who illustrated the pain they had around some of those things. This age of the creator means that specialists like ourselves will come to this and speak a lot of English and then go outside and have a chat with a creator. And while you could speak to about 45, 50,000 people here, or maybe the 100 who are in the room, the creator has built a community of over 200,000. Yeah, and therefore is able to reach that volume. As a brand, it is in your best interest to bring the creator on your side because one, they will teach people, educate people about what it is that you're doing. They will also bring their community with them to where you are. They will also build a culture that makes sense. And this is where we come in as Next Creator. Next Creator has built a bunch of things, and when you look at how we laid out the state of the digital economy, any industry relies on 4 core things. It relies on there being some kind of security. You can't really grow your crops if the area you're living in is insecure. So agriculture as an industry can fail if it doesn't have security. It relies on policies that make sense. It relies on the right infrastructure, but most importantly, it actually relies on the human capital, the people who make the thing move. What Next Creator is doing within the creative and culture space, within the digital economy space, because you see, the only reason you're stuck on TikTok at 3:30 a.m. in the morning scrolling away is that there was a creator who participated in a dance, invented a new thing, and now you're using your data and the infrastructure that the government has put together, and you're staying on the internet. The only reason you stay on the internet, aside from work, is because there's a creator giving you a reason. So what are we doing about that? We understand that when creators come into the space, they often don't know what to do. Sometimes the default is, let me just attack people. Let me do some really nasty things and I will get a following. And it often works, but then people wonder why it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable because no brand wants to be associated with you. So what are we doing as Next Creator? We are skilling these creators. We're telling them this is how you handle a camera, this is how you handle a phone, this is how you frame someone when you're putting them online. We are also standardizing. We're making sure that they understand how do you protect a brand? How do you make sure that those people who will make your life better are actually stay standing? And then the third thing is we're connecting them to opportunities for them to practice the craft that they have so dearly learned. Now, so far we have about 125 of them who have gone through the Next Creator program. They have understood how to use all these digital tools to make sure that they can communicate on behalf of your company, of your organization. And the other thing is that they receive a badge from us. And that badge says that if someone has this Next Creator badge, they will protect your brand, they will know how to communicate on your behalf, they will do good things for you, yeah? And that is how we connect them. We connect them to opportunities for internship, we connect them to opportunities to make some money, and we encourage them, yeah, to grow their following and make a living. And like I said before, creators focus, as Next Creator, we have a strong focus on the human capital aspect of the digital economy, because these are the guys who are creating the content that you're spending a few hours and minutes on every morning, every day. Yes, thank you very much. I had this in my head, so I knew what we needed to do. But one last thing, since I have about 2 minutes. You as an individual actually can become one of the greatest creators in your sector. Yeah, the diversity of content, we will never run out of consuming content. Yeah, what we are doing at Next Creator is making sure that that content, when it comes to children, for example, is appropriate for them. When it comes to adults, is also appropriate. When it comes to brands, it's also appropriate. Yeah, so we would like for you to send us your people. For us, we can skill them and place them in opportune places. Thank you very much. Did I keep time?
Thank you, Eugene Kabuma from Next Creator. And up next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Torach from Vision Africa AI. And his presentation is on how we can leverage AI for socioeconomic transformation, using it responsibly. So I yield the floor to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Earlier on, we were guided about saying protocol observed, but permit me to appreciate Mr. Kin Karisa in absentia. He's done tremendous work, bringing us here for 3 consecutive years. And not only that, earlier on, you remember he said that the telecom companies were not ready for having mobile data until under the leadership of the Minister of ICT, he chaired a committee that was able to convince government to support bringing BlackBerry to Uganda. So we appreciate his effort, but also protocol observed. Allow me to appreciate the board chair of Vision Africa AI and the team that he's come with. So thank you very much. So what is Vision Africa AI about? homegrown company helping Ugandans to understand where to start from. Because most of the question is people move straight away to the app. What kind of AI software can I get? That is the common question. We said, no, let's do it in a strategic way. Can we do readiness assessment for you as an institution? Can we find out what your strategic plan is saying? Can we be able to come up with a strategy for you? Can we be able to come up with guidelines? And then next to that is the issue of capacity development. Top management and the boards need to be trained in terms of AI governance. And then the rest of the team also need to be trained. Even before you bring in the software, you need to create that awareness of the likely dangers and the benefits of AI. So alongside that, we provide international certifications in partnership with the Global Skill Development Council, which is based in Singapore, the US, and Switzerland. So we look at the entire ecosystem, bringing together partners who are here in Uganda and internationally, so that we can bring solutions that meet local context. So we picked on this topic, as you can see. How can Uganda move from 50 billion to 500 billion in just 15 years? Do we acquire more land? Do we provide more capital? What will make things different for us? So the 10 growth strategy, the aim is to divide it into 4, but what we are focusing is on C, that is build a knowledge economy as a new source of economic growth based on technological advancement. Digital economy is part of knowledge economy because digital is not everything. So digital economy is part of knowledge economy. And relatedly, this is what Ministry of Finance is saying, that without this growth of technology and information, economic development would be slow and non-existent. This is from Ministry of Finance. So already government had recognized that 500 billion wouldn't be achievable without adopting technological advancements or emerging technologies. So this is, just imagine what Uganda would look like if we were getting this kind of money, GDP per capita, 7,000, from 1,000 to 7,000, annual inflows to 50 billion. And the one which is interesting for me is from 50 billion to 500 billion. Can you just imagine what your environment in your community would look like if Uganda had that kind of money? What would your streets be like? What would your drainage system be like? Garbage management be like? So this is what government is trying to say. Can we imagine some of the first world cities? Would Uganda look like Singapore? Would Uganda look like Malaysia? Would Uganda look like South Korea? And that should happen when you are still alive and seeing. And so growth of this order requires total factor productivity. That is, we need more value per worker, not just about the numbers. We need more value per hectare. We need more productivity per kilowatt. We need more productivity per shilling. So these statistics I'm not going to spend more time about because they have been elaborately presented. But something that I wish to emphasize, that a lot has been done. About 17 years ago, that's when the president, when the rest of his contemporaries and other politicians were thinking of infrastructure in terms of roads, in terms of electricity, he went and borrowed money for the national backbone infrastructure. and he borrowed twice from China. And he has again borrowed twice from the World Bank. And that's why the theme for this discussion is very healthy. That how do we transition from that infrastructure to getting value out of that infrastructure? So it is something that it is worth appreciating. Now the private sector is using the same infrastructure to give you data, which you use for watching TikTok at 2 a.m. in the morning. So it is something that we have to appreciate government for. Now, something we emphasize as Vision Africa is on responsible AI adoption. AI can be used for good, but it can also be used for attacks. Earlier on, Milima and talked about adversarial use of artificial intelligence. So this alone is a full workshop, which we cannot be able to go through in detail, but there must be fairness and non-discrimination against all categories of people, transparency, accountability, etc. So this is a full workshop of this on, but the time does not allow us to go in detail. So the gist of our presentation is on this slide. What are the 4 core areas of the 10-fold growth strategy? It is agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral development, oil and gas, science, technology, and innovation. So you remember the minister emphasized the issue of mineral development. So AI can help us to move quickly and develop our country if we deploy AI in mineral development, oil and gas. And all this is really a full day's workshop. Some of these things we have mentioned, like precision advisor on soil, would require a lot of time in order for us to break it down. But you can see the different areas where we can apply AI. So these are some of the recommendations we have. From strengthening governance, the minister talked about this already. They are working on the national strategy. Connect and compute, issues of compute has already been raised. Recently, there was a meeting in Switzerland. Most of the compute infrastructure is found in China and the US. The rest of the world only have a small fraction of it. Issues of skill, which we are doing very well, and we want to help the country. Building use of public procurement as a local to help our local innovators. How do we inspire innovation? One is for us to buy local. We thank God for the many innovators who are already coming up with AI solutions. So why should we go out? So procurement must favor our local innovators. And then the issues of assurance. We have had a lot of presentation on cybersecurity. So as Vision Africa, we want to say that AI will not merely support the 10-fold growth strategy, but it will be remembered as the technology that made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love that all our presenters are really keeping time. We celebrate and appreciate that. We'd like to invite the good people who make your Monday brighter, the awesome people at Brighter Monday. Please come and talk to us. Are we ready? Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Energies are low. I know it's afternoon. I'll try to be as interesting as possible. And I hope they don't put my picture here because I feel like I've catfished people. Things can change in a year. So I am here to represent Brighter Monday Uganda. This is the second year that Brighter Monday has been a partner in this event, and we are grateful for this. And when I stand here, I'm not going to talk about AI infrastructure. I represent human capital, the human face of the digital economy. So just to get started, I like to give stories, but as I give stories, I like to back it up with data. So I'd like you to imagine 3 graduates. They've all graduated, and in the last 1 year, they've been trying to apply to jobs. And they've done 100 applications in the last 1 year with no jobs at all. That is the real reality of young people out here, especially those who are trying to get into their career. And so I want to back up my story with data. In 2025 November, Brighter Monday, and not only Brighter Monday, because we are part of a larger group, we are part of the Africa Talent Company, which is a parent group owning Brighter Monday Uganda, Brighter Monday Kenya, Jobberman Nigeria, and Jobberman Ghana. And we did a survey across all countries. And specifically for Uganda, we surveyed over 2,000 applicants. 81% of them were 18 to 35 years. 68% of them applied jobs using online platforms. 24% of them said, which was the majority, that they take more than 1 year to get a job once they start applying. This is the reality. 55% of them are degree holders. So that means that you have a very huge number of seekers out here who are highly qualified but are not able to get jobs. 47% of them say that they submit over 100 applications for them to actually get an interview or get into a job, which is a crisis. And that shows a real problem. So as I'm telling this story, I'm backing it up with data so that we know the problem that we have cannot be solved by one person. It needs to be solved in the system. So when we interact with clients in Brighter Monday, 65% of them, when they give us feedback after they've posted a job and they've hired someone, they come back and they say that 65%, most graduates or most entry-level people lack soft skills to either sustain their job for a very long time. And that is a problem. And we also do a lot of research to look at the market, not only at Brighter Monday. And in the last 2 years, across online job platforms, these are the number of jobs that have been posted across these job functions. So if we are saying that young people or youth in Uganda are not getting jobs or are remaining unemployed, and we have these many jobs, what really is the problem? What is the problem? Is it that there are no jobs, or is it that people are not hireable? And that is why we exist. So instead of asking the question, and I've seen a lot of articles, a lot of speeches on why young people can't find jobs, we need to flip the question. We need to ask, why can't employers find employable youth? Because that is the problem. There's thousands and thousands of people who are graduating every year. And as we've seen in one of the functions in my last slide, there's like 8,000 jobs that were posted in one particular job function, which is finance, in the last 2 years. So there is opportunity, but people are not being placed in those jobs. So we need to flip the system, and we cannot do it alone. It starts with our education system. As the education system, we need to stop putting a lot of focus on outdated theoretical content and passing exams. That is no longer relevant in the job place. As parents, we need to stop putting pressure on our children to graduate and get the paper. Instead, we need to show them where careers are, and we need to show them how to develop their capabilities. Because I believe every single human being has a capability. And as employers, we need to stop expecting that we have employees who are ready to work, and we need to invest in training them so they can fit well within our organizations. So again, I'll not repeat this because of time, but just to flip, the market demands today critical problem solving, digital sales readiness, people to be good in digital acumen, sales, customer success, workplace reliability, ownership. Employers expect you to be adaptable because things keep changing every single time. So if you're frustrated by change, you're really going to have a hard time staying in your job. So employers are expecting you to be more collaborative, more adaptive, more reliable, take more ownership of your role so that you can be able to thrive. So we need to flip the questions, and instead of training everyone, we need to train for demand. What that means is we need to map where there is demand by research. And then once we identify where that demand is, we need to bridge the gap of, if, for example, I find that in a year, 1,000 sales jobs are posted, we need to now mobilize sales young talent in that, who are interested in that, and train them in the skills that make you thrive as a salesperson. And then we partner with employers to place at scale. So that is one of the problems that we are solving at Brighter Monday. And so that would mean you mobilize, you assess, you train, and you match them to the relevant skills. And if we do that, what is going to happen is we are going to match at scale. And I'm not saying this as just to give ideas. This is something that actually Brighter Monday is doing. So we are shifting our direction from, connecting a job seeker to an employer to matching at scales, thinking in the 1,000s. This is something that we are actually actualizing at Brighter Monday. How do you look at the number of jobs that usually come up a lot and you train people to fit those jobs? And we are focusing on 18 to 35-year-olds, and these are entry to mid-level. These are people who are starting out in their career and they are growing into their mid-level, and that's where we stop. That's where our focus is. So, and if you think about the high volume hiring sectors, this would be your hiring sectors and functions. This is where a lot of jobs are in the market, and this is where jobs will not stop being posted. Manufacturers will always need people for operations. There will always be needed sales representatives because the most important KPI in a business is revenue. Hospitality will always need waiters. They will always need cooks. Customer service will always be needed in each and every sector. So these are where most of the jobs are, and we need to think different. We need to train people because there is no degree for salespeople or customer service in the university. So we need to bridge that gap so we can create more employment for more young people. So yeah, think demand first, place in the thousands, not dozens, and that means mass recruitment at scale. So just to measure our impact, how are we going to measure impact? For the youth, we need to think about active unemployment reduction. If we do this right, there's going to be more employment. For employers, there's going to be low attrition rates. For economy, there's going to be stronger macro revenues. That means our economy grows better if we place people in the relevant jobs and if they can sustain their jobs for a long time. So I'm just leaving this as an action plan because we cannot play this role alone. We can only do so much. For the government, let's align educational standards to what is relevant now. For university, think about soft skills, think about practical skills in your curriculum. For employers, let's also agree that one of our cost lines will be investing on training young people. And for parents, let's value our children's capabilities and talent, and let's train them and get them ready as young as they are. And for youth, let's prepare for careers as opposed to getting papers and graduating, and then you have no plan. So my final challenge to everyone, I have 46 seconds, is instead of asking where the jobs are or why people are not getting jobs, let's ask, how are we preparing the youth for existing roles? So solving the talent crisis is not a social welfare effort, it's an urgent economic imperative for Uganda's future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brighter Monday. When I heard what the actual definition, the catchphrase of making your Mondays brighter, it's one of the most beautiful things when you finally get a gig and you wake up on Monday and you start. It's very beautiful. I'd like to welcome our people from Collaborate to also share with us. Yes, please come through.
Caller, we've heard that word, either at home by your mother asking you to do some work, or your boss, or your friend, or your classmate. Work, caller, is a Luganda word, it's a verb, and it means make it happen. And ultimately, in my opinion, and I believe everybody in this room, the digital economy, its ultimate outcome should be work. And I believe we all agree about that. My name is Paul Gakazi, the CEO of Collaborate Platforms. And I do hope at the end of this conversation, we all have appreciated how we're going to scale work for every Ugandan who's happy, willing, and truly skilled to do this job. Now, when we speak about scaling work, we've spoken about trust. We've spoken trust of machines, we've spoken trust of individuals, we've spoken trust between different systems. But I'm here to introduce to you the new gap that we have noticed at Collaborate. I want to mention this. Collaborate is at the intersection of the technologies that are happening in the country, the talent in the country, but most especially our employers, which we call the demand side. So what I'm about to share with you, or what I'm sharing, is actually not hallucinations or imaginations. This is feedback we've seen from our talent, from our employers, but also using the technologies that have been talked about today. Now, when we say that we're going to scale work, but we know that people still don't trust Ugandans or Africans at large, because we have partners here who have done amazing work to scale training. But when you think about training, we've all heard from our partners that something stands out, that today as we speak, there is more Ugandans connected to the internet than there is Ugandans connected to formal income. That's a fact. And what are we doing about it? Can you imagine having internet and you are a consumer, and yet the gadget you're using to consume could literally make you money? Do we pay attention to these things, and are we telling our people about these things? So we hope that when we are discussing today the fact that we're all connected, how can we make it make money for us, but also how can we scale work for everybody? Now, we've all heard about the 700,000 talents joining the market, the job market every year. I want to speak about the 41%. This is very interesting. We are one of the most underutilized talent in the country. What do I mean? Can you imagine that 4 out of 10 Ugandans are underutilized? Basically, 4 Ugandans are unable to express themselves economically, productively. That's, in my opinion, a bigger risk than anything else. That's why we are risking brain drain, and that's why we shall continue to argue the gap of jobs. Jobs aren't there, that is true. But also jobs cannot be made to exist when we are not considering that people are underutilized, right? So when you think about the 41% of underutilized Ugandans, and then think about in about maybe 4 years, 2030, there will be about 230 million jobs in sub-Saharan Africa. Some of those will be here, of course, in Uganda. Now, some of those jobs are new, some of them will be the ordinary old jobs, but these jobs are going to require, the key word here is require, digital skills. So it's no longer nice to have a digital skill. If we're going to scale jobs, we must look at the inventory coming in, and are we scaling fast enough to catch up? And the trust issue that we have talked about. So we have employers, and we've had Brighter Monday, one of the great employers, say that, listen, jobs are there. I'm sorry, but some of you are not ready for those jobs. She's right. Brighter Monday is right, and all employers are right. But that's half the story. The student, the talent, the young person working is also claiming, no. You're saying work is there, we're not ready. No, we think work isn't there. Both parties are right. Because in our conclusion, we've observed that there is a lack of trust. The employer we have to remember, most employers are in this for their bottom line. It's not a sin to be in business for bottom line. All of us, we are, right? So when they decide not to hire someone out of the risk of inability to deliver, it's not because they don't like you, it's because we've not done our job. As who are preparing the youth, we've not done our job to procure trust for the employer. Now, when we talk about the young person who's saying there isn't work, what are we doing to make them ready so that this gap between these two groups of people who are misaligned, how can we align them? And today I want to say that the trust gap is easily the biggest issue of the continent and Uganda at large. We have spoken about the skills gap, but between you and I, we are getting skilled. Actually, probably more skilled than we thought we would achieve, right? Now, if that is true, what's happening when you get skilled? Do you eventually get a job? So if you are skilled but you can't get a job because your boss doesn't see any work you've ever done in the past, your boss thinks you're too young, you can't acknowledge, you can't do the job. What happens then at that point? So we are saying these are the things that we must scale if we're going to scale job creation in the country. And the first one is, of course, access. Access has been talked about very beautifully. So access is the internet, the connection, all these platforms that we have spoken about. But access is just the beginning of the story. We have to build capability. We have to be able to build proof that even if, look at these young people, some of them are probably 11 years or 12 years or 15, and they're already building their evidence of work that of their practical skills. If that be true, how about us here at our age? Why aren't we building very strong portfolios that we can show the world of our work? These portfolios could be assimilations of work or of your capability of a skill or a problem in the world. You don't have to have a direct employer at that point to prove your capability. So please invest in proofing. Now, when we talk about proof, that's when you begin building trust. When we build trust, we now do work. Which, this process, you can't skip any of this because, like I said, employers will always look for their proof. Now, how do we achieve this? This is how I believe this can be achieved. There are 4 areas, and the first is train for demand. One of the challenges that we have seen, we hire a lot. Just to drop a statistic, we have created about 4,000 jobs to date, and we're only 4 years old. Yeah, that deserves a hand. It does. So if we have done that and we're a young company, imagine if we had the technology to do the right thing. So we need to train for demand, prove that work is being delivered, but especially keep improving. This system is useless if you do and then break again. Keep improving and get better. So we want to share with you the Collaborate case study. So this is how we are doing it at Collaborate. We call it the Colla ecosystem. So first, we have an academy. All of you young people, please check around the booth of Collaborate. Go register on that platform. There's a lot you could learn. So the academy, after you've studied, we verify your skill. This is all done by AI. AI has been spoken a lot about. I won't beat a dead horse. And right after, we have a marketplace. We've built the version of Fiverr or the version of Upwork for Afro talent. And I think that's an important thing. Thank you. And right after, we put you in pods. And when we put you in these pods, this is when you begin delivering the work. And you're doing work for businesses around the world, in the Americas, our neighbors here in Kenya, our local organizations at home here, and everywhere else where people are beginning to trust our capacity and capability as Ugandans. All right. It wouldn't be a presentation in digital economy without an AI slide. So I put this one to appease the inviters. Kidding, we need it. So AI, we've spoken about AI, and I use AI a lot. I'm not ashamed to say that. I believe all of us use it here. We have some snobs who think AI means you're stupid, you're not cool. So for the snobs, we apologize. We are AI users and we love it. But we have a strong but. Are you using your AI ethically? Are you outsourcing your thinking to AI? Are you asking AI to do the mundane work that normally would make you a sharper person? We're saying AI is supposed to be infrastructure. It should not replace people. And if at your work, you're some of the employers who are saying, oh no, AI can do this, let's fire this person. It's your company, but we want to say you're unethical, unfortunately, because that AI coupled with that person you want to fire could actually increase your capacity to deliver for your business and hence improve your bottom line, right? So we're saying things that cannot be replaced. Goes without saying systems thinking. We cannot replace that. Humans will have to do that. Communication. Some of the great communicators, it's about the emotion that you attach to a conversation and delivery. So that is not about to be replaced. Yeah, you might get AI to improve your Luzungu, your language and stuff like that. That's not going to make you be able to communicate and connect with people emotionally. And of course, be professionally responsible. Right, so allow me to speak on this slide because we can speak about all our talent, our capacity, our capability, the systems we built. It would be all useless if we don't focus on the people that give us these jobs, the demand side. These are our governments, the private sector, development partners, ourselves Collaborate, Right Amanda, Refactory, all our partners in here. of course, the largest media house, who's one of the biggest employers in the space. So when we speak about these things, we are very certain that we have to build a world that Uganda, East Africa builds together. And I want to say, I invite all of us here to contribute to the creation of jobs. Creating jobs is not a one-man show. It's not for the government, it's not for the private sector alone, it's not for individuals. But rather what I want to say, that creating jobs can be done uniformly and unisonly by all of us. What do I mean by that? I'm inviting everybody here in the educators to train for talent, rather to train for demand, but employers, I'm requesting you that even if a young person is not the right age or doesn't have the papers that prove certain numbers, kindly give them a chance if they have the desire to learn to be better. Thank you. I still be Proud Gakazi and I represent Collaborate Platforms.
Thank you so much, Collaborate. A couple of things. This bit is going to be very interesting. You mentioned the ethical use of AI. We have a friend. They have a strong relationship with AI. But before that, there's a few things that stood out. The trust gap that is created, the skills gap that exists, and also the ethical use of AI. How do you use it in such a way that your brain doesn't rot?
All right, so on that note, I'd like to invite Yiga Vanessa from Next Creator, who's going to share on the ethics of AI usage within the creative digital economy. And this is also my official signing out. I will listen to hers, but I will also be signing out. And I also invite you all to look at the booths outside, Collaborate, DPI, Startup Uganda, and all the partners are exhibiting as well. So interact with them, because what we're talking about, we're actually implementing in real time. So Vanessa, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Unfortunately, I am going to be one of those people that has my computer here with me, even while my presentation is there. Can you hear me? Okay. So my name is Uganda Lubega Vanessa. I am a curriculum and training manager under the Next Creator program. The Next Creator program, right now we're running a particular program, I've said program twice, a program that is focused on skilling creatives. We're in partnership with the Mastercard Foundation, International Trade Center, and a couple of other partners. And our focus is basically ensuring that creatives who do not have access to finance are able to monetize their skills. So today, I'm here to talk about AI and its ethical use in the creative digital economy. A little bit about myself. I am a creative. I make my own jewelry. I have a business named Trinkets of Brass. I am a lawyer, and I am right now fully in the creative space. So yes, my presentation, like I said, is about AI and its ethical use in the digital creative economy. So first of all, I want us to understand who a creative is. I think the word creative is many times used, but it's used in such an ambiguous form that we don't understand what it is. We hear creative this, creative that, but who really is a creative? In my understanding, a creative is someone who uses their mind to create things. And I know that's typically all of us, but I think a creative is a person who uses their mind, uses their brain basically, and then from that, from their brain, they're able to put things into. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. My apologies. From what they have in their brain, they create something tangible. Yeah. So you think about something, you conceptualize it, and from what you have in your brain, you create something. These are the artists that we see who they have an image in their head, a vision in their head, and from there you see an art piece. These are people that they think about, let's say, a certain story, how to frame it, and then they've written like a book. To me, that is what a creative is. So yeah, let's dive right into it. So basically, I'm going to talk about, my presentation was much longer, but I've had to shorten it in the interest of time. So I'm just going to talk about, like the previous speaker said, we use AI, that's unavoidable. A lot of us have had to incorporate AI into our daily tasks. But when it comes to the creative digital economy, like I've said, a creative uses their brain, yeah? They think of something because they are talented in that particular area. This is not necessarily something that they went to school to learn, yeah? I mean, they could have gone to school and upskilled or gotten some kind of training, but usually for creatives, you have this skill that you know that you basically have had it from childhood, yeah? So when it comes down to it, when we use AI in the creative digital economy, how are we ensuring that while we continue to use AI, it's not taking away from our creativity? So, like I said, a creative uses their brain. They conceptualize things from their brain and then they put them into paper. So then a digital creative is someone who uses digital tools. Digital tools, that's a computer, whatever tools basically that allow you to put your information out there. And I think in this day and age, the line between a typical creative and a digital creative it has sort of blurred. It has become blurred because a creative is going to have to be a creative, is going to have to digitalize their work. If you want to, let's say, advertise your work, if you want to create visibility for it, you're going to have to use, to incorporate an aspect of digital tools in order for people to see your work. And so I think that the line between a typical creative and a digital creative has been blurred. There's no way that right now in this day and age you can be a creative and not have an element of a digital aspect to your work. And so we have a couple of protections that are available to people that are available to digital creators. However, right now the legislative framework as it stands does not specifically cater to work that has been created by both an individual, the human being, and work that has been developed with the help of an AI tool. So typically we have legislations like the Data Protection and Privacy Act, we have the Industrial Property Act, Copyrights and Neighboring Acts, and a bunch of other conventions that Uganda is a party to, and these will protect your work as a creative. For example, we have intellectual property. Intellectual property is what you have created. For example, as an artist, what you have created, your art piece, you own the intellectual property rights in that art piece, and you can leverage this to get money. You can take this you can take this to the bank as collateral. Those are your intellectual property rights, and these are protected. But now the question is, when you have created this work together with an AI tool, what aspect of that work actually belongs to you, and what aspect of that cannot be attributed to you? And that's where we get to the appropriation argument. Here we're trying to figure out what aspect of the work was created by you and what has been created by the AI tool. Because right now, it's really become difficult to distinguish between the work that I have done as a person and what I have, how I have applied myself and what has been done by the machine. So right now, the appropriation argument comes down to this. If the human has conceived the idea, directed the creative process, made significant editorial decisions, and shaped the final output, then the work is regarded as AI assisted rather than AI authored. And so that work is protected under Ugandan law because they're the ones that have basically done the entire job. All the AI tool has done is assist in fine-tuning it, maybe make it look better. For example, a presentation like this, you come up with the original idea and then the AI tool sort of makes it look pretty or does this and that. Although I think right now a number of us online have seen that so many people are complaining about these AI posters. I think you can immediately tell when a poster, for example, an event poster has been made by our proper graphics designer or it has been made by AI. Usually AI posters are so clunky, so there's just too much going on and they're ugly. For lack of a better word, they're really ugly. Anyways, now I have gotten carried away. So if someone simply enters a prompt, yeah, and puts it into the AI tool and says, puts it into ChatGPT, for example, that's generative AI, puts it into ChatGPT and says, create a Ugandan tourism poster. There's no element of yourself as a creative that you've applied to that process. you've basically asked the AI tool to do the work for you. However, if you come up with your own idea, you're involved in the process, and then maybe the final thing, you tell AI, you tell the AI tool, maybe change it up this way or decorate it this way, then that work is AI assisted, and you can protect it as your own work. Yeah, you can protect it, you can trademark it, you can copyright it, you can patent it. There's a number of protections under the law. So like I said, human contribution and AI contribution, we need to be able to figure out that distinction between those two, because if your work has been purely made by an AI tool, then that work cannot be attributed to you at all. And for many of these legislations, like I've said, they focus on work they're human-centric. They focus on work that is made by a human being. Work that is made by a computer or a tool is not going to be protected because it is not your work. So many other people can enter a similar prompt and come up with the same exact work that you did. But what part of yourself has been applied to that work, that's what will determine whether that work can be protected as your own or not. So there are a number of pros and cons of digitalization in the creative economy. One is access to tools. For example, before you would have had to invest in quite a number of different things in order to be able to get your work off the ground. But access to these tools has reduced that, has leveled those barriers, those entry-level barriers. We have digital tools that we can use to edit our work. In distributing content, we have websites and platforms that we can use that will put our work, will make our work available to global audiences. And so there are a lot of pros to digitalization. However, there are cons as well. Now the cons when it comes to digitalization in the creative economy, for me, since my discussion is focused on AI, I'm going to discuss the cons of using AI in the creative digital economy. So we know that algorithms are dependent on the kind of information that has been fed into them. And right now, most of this information is focused on the information that is fed into them is information from, let's say, the global north and that kind of thing. What that means is that there's a reduction in cultural diversity. So some cultures, some languages, etc. might be left out, and so we're not going to be able to have a balanced information when it comes down to it. People in developing countries are left out the work that is produced by AI because the sources that it's relying on are not representative of information that is coming from the global south, from African countries, from developing countries. The test area is basically information from developed countries, and that risks leaving African countries and developing countries out. Another con is the effect that AI has on the environment, AI tools. So to use an AI tool, you're going to rely on hardware. Yeah, you're going to use computers, you're going to use that kind of thing. These computers are made from like copper, and like we have had the situation in Congo where that has time, unfortunately. And I'm going to make this presentation available to you so that you're able to have a look at it or anything else that you may want to see. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. For our current audience online, on TV, these have been the main presentations from our partners. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I know that we're about to jump into the 4:30 news. And as we do that, we're moving this conversation to NBS Live, so you can continue following up. We still have a number of students and young people here who have some innovations that they would like to share with the rest of the country. So move with us as we shift to NBS Live. For those of you in the room, you don't have to move. Yeah? We're just shifting the feed. Yeah? Yes. Thank you. I would like to invite other Akili girls here. Are the Akili girls here? Hey, some energy. Now we are, and you know, NBS Live is fully like ours. We can be very free on that one. So, Akili girls, please come share your presentation. Thank you very much.
Melan, Rania, and Divine. Across Uganda, so many things are happening at the same time. The first side, food is rotting in stores, in kitchens, and in markets. The other side, people are going hungry. With Food Saver app, less food will be wasted and a lot of people will be fed.
Here's the number that shocked us. According to FAO estimate, around 39% of all food produced in Uganda is wasted in production, storage, at transport, at market, and in our own homes. Poor handling of food alone has cost Uganda a lot of money. Why does this keep happening? Let me give you like 1 to 2 reasons, simple reasons. 1, people forget the food they already have in their homes. 2, food expires quietly before anyone uses it. This is not all about hunger. When people throw rotten food in the environment, the food which has been thrown in the environment will decompose and release, it will release like a bad smell which will pollute the environment. Thank you.
Our solution is the Food Saver app. The Food Saver app helps people do 3 things. 1, it helps people track their food, get reminded when the food expires, and share the reminder to other people for free or at a small cost. Think of it as the missing bridge between the food that is about to be wasted and the people who could still use it. Instead of it going to the bin, it goes to the neighbor, classmates, and other small vendors down the road who could still use it. The Food Saver app does not only solve food wastage, but turns waste into access.
Let us pass you through exactly how it works. 5 simple steps. Step 1. The users open the app and add the food items they have at home, what it is and roughly how much. Step 2. The app quietly tracks it in the background and sends a reminder before that food is about to expire, so nobody forgets what's sitting in their kitchen. Step 3. Before the food goes bad, Food Saver suggests simple ways of using it. A quick meal idea, a recipe, a way to combine it with something else you already have. Step 4. If there are still extra food more than one household can use, the user can share it with people nearby, either for free or for a small price. Step 5. Other users nearby see the food is available and they can request it directly through the app. No awkward phone calls, no wasted trips, just a small match between someone who has extra food and someone who needs it. Track it, get reminded, use it well or share it. That's the whole loop, and every step is designed to happen before the food becomes waste, not after.
Ugandans, there are food delivery apps, there are food recipe apps, there are food bank charities, but nothing in Uganda combines this all in one place. Food Saver is different because it gives mass suggestions on how to use what you have wisely and not waiting to be told. Do not waste food. We also built it for the reality of Uganda Food Savers essential work, because we know that not everyone can access internet to the place they are staying in, because it can also work with limited internet.
That's not bad luck, that's a broken system.
Together we are the Akili Girls,
and we are here to fix the broken system.
Hello, guys. How are we doing? I've been told I'm the one taking over the microphone now. Are we excited? Me, my job is to bring life in the room. Are we excited for the next session? Are you sure? Let me see some energy, guys. I want to see some energy. Yes. So now next on stage, we are going to hear from the Safari Thinkers, still from St. Catherine. Let's give them a very big hand clap as they come to the stage. No, that's not loud, guys. I need it louder than that. Yes, thank you. These are the Safari Thinkers.
Imagine waking up to a country where there is no green nature and no any fresh air. Hi everyone, I'm Kamara Nicole and this is Magala Walda. In the last 100 years, Uganda has lost over 40% of its forest cover. In 1900, half of our country was forest. Today, it's barely 1/8. At this rate, some reports warn our forests could disappear within decades if nothing changes. And here's the part that bothers us the most. Every week we see it on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Young Ugandans posting about tree planting, posting about hashtags like Save Our Lake and Go Green Uganda. People are talking about the environment more than ever before. But talking isn't the same as planting. A post gets 200 likes, it does not plant any trees. Cleanup events get announced, but only a handful of people actually show up. Why? Because there is no system, no event near you, no way to know that you actually did something, and no way to prove that you did something actually. Climate activism in Uganda has turned out a problem, not a passion problem. And that gap between caring online and acting up on the ground is exactly why we built Rooted to close. This is Rooted, Uganda's climate action app. Our tagline says it all, from posts to planted trees. Here's how it works. Open the app and see how many trees are growing in your country right now. Like the Maria Forestation, 12 local schools working together to restore the forest canopy. 42 people have already joined with one tap. Or the Gaba Beach shower line, the cleaning plastics out of Lake Victoria, the source of drinking water for millions of people. You do not just join and forget. Rooted gives you a checkup list because the ground is muddy. A reusable water bottle because we do not allow a single-use plastic. And after the action takes place, Rooted actually shows you what you did: trees planted, kilograms of waste collected, and hours served. You climb badges. Uganda has a shortage of young people, but not a shortage of a digital app. It's not just a concept, it's a digital app created by two 13-year-olds. This is Rooted, and we are all together, we are the Safari Thinkers. This is Rooted. Thank you.
Let's clap for them even louder. All right, thank you very much. We can already tell that these are definitely going to be the future tech founders. And I believe that's why our partners like Google Developer Groups, Refactory, Brighter Monday Uganda, Collaborate. I'm sure this is the kind of talents that you are looking for maybe 15 years to come from now. So we are here trying to prepare the next Elon Musk, the next Kin Karisa, the next Livia Mulinge, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, the teams from St. Catherine, the head teacher, the teachers, thank you for the incredible work that you are doing, but also Next Communications for making sure that you are inclusive of the young people who are definitely the future. So next on stage, I need drum rolls. Yeah, who can do for me drum rolls? You can just do, yeah. So next on stage, we've been having some developers led by Google Developer Groups as well as Refactory. They were given an impromptu challenge early in the morning. We now have the first team ready with their solution. They came from home. They had no idea what they were going to work on. As soon as they reached here, they were given a challenge by the Refactory team. We are super excited to now have the very first team, Team Ubuntu. And in my session, you clap for them until they reach the stage. And I need you, ladies and gentlemen, to walk your walk of fame. You're not walking the walk of fame. Come on. Let's clap for them. We do it louder. All right. Team Ubuntu, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Flabako Josephine. I'm a software developer, and we are the Ubuntu team, the collaborators. I'm here with Jakisa, Munil, Emma, and Conrad in the control room. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be presenting the application and the pitch for application. We've built a mobile responsive application that can be accessed via the web and also can be used on feature phones to be able to report service delivery and connectivity provided by the government to different societies, communities within the country. This feature is focused on infrastructure gaps within the country to allow members of the community report to the government whether roads have been made, whether services have been delivered, whether energy situations have been handled. All reports and all governance systems have to be kept accountable using this system through the community engagement. Now, our solution is we have a monitoring system that allows, first of all, the government to track all reports that have been sent, a system that allows the public to make feedback on every service that is being delivered to the community, and also project tracking, the continuous tracking of whether roads are continuously being made, schools are being built, hospitals are having the necessary resources required, like doctors, medicine, among other things. Like I mentioned, we have a feature phone application that allows users who do not have internet access in village areas to be able to actually report on these services that are not being delivered in their communities, to keep the government and the local government in check and be able to make sure that services are all delivered accordingly. Then on the web platform, the government officials can be able to track these reports, and also for people with smartphones, they will be able to actually access whatever services and whatever extra details are attached to each service that is supposed to be delivered. The system is designed to have a public service dashboard for the acting local government official, the acting minister in position for a given area, to be able to understand that services are either being delivered into their area or money is not being used accordingly. We plan on the target areas of connectivity, energy, and supply chain logistics, that is roads, hospital resources, schools, among other government initiatives. Our constraints are power and vulnerability, the unified data synthesis, where we are going to be integrating different data sources and different communities to also actually be able to track that a road that was being developed in a given community started way before a given road in a given area, and why is this area having its road completed, yet a road that started before is not yet complete. Our desired product outcome is, excuse me, sorry. Our desired product outcome is when projects are started, communities actually collaborate with government individuals and local government officials to be able to actually monitor progress of activities like I've mentioned. And then in case of problems due to any harsh conditions like dust, heat, communities can actually report on these issues. And then when problems also arise, reports are gathered and complaints can be sent to government officials. And then the portal is going to be accessed via the web platform for people who can access internet, and then for USSD with people who own feature phones and don't have internet access in probably deep remote areas. With the development of the country proactively monitored and followed upon, everyone is empowered and the economy can actually thrive through such a system. We just ask at some point that the government actually looks into such systems and they're able to fund, because looking at the current situation of the country where people are being held accountable for services, some systems like this have to be put in place to actually be able to afford the tracking and the process of keeping people in check. We are also looking forward to the sensitization of people, because even people with smartphones themselves do not know about the technologies out there that could actually help them reach out to their government officials and be able to communicate with them clearly. Because right now, as the country is, you get to vote someone and you actually do not have a way of keeping people accountable or in check on the services supposed to be delivered within the community. And then also, we look forward to governance support, because such infrastructure requires server space and a lot of infrastructure that is required to actually maintain the compute power. We can go ahead and actually look at the app itself now so that you get to see how the app operates. Right now, this is the app, the public app. And when you first view the link, actually, you can actually access this app through roraservice.onrender.com right now. Currently, it's live and running. And you can actually go ahead and report an issue now, where you enter an issue, what the issue is, probably broken water pumps, anything, and then you choose what type of service is being affected in your community, and currently what is being done within or what's happening within the community and where is it happening, and then describe the issue, where you can actually mention that it was mentioned that a road was supposed to be constructed, but in about 5 months, nothing has begun. And then the report is sent to the appropriate individuals, and you can actually go ahead and track the report itself on a dashboard to see whether, when it has been reported, your government individual has actually acknowledged that they have received the report, and they can actually now start the work in progress itself. When we go ahead to actually log into the admin portal, when you sign in as a government individual, you would be able to actually view all the reports you've been sent, and with the service areas available. With also, now for the reports, you can see the poor road construction that we had chosen. The other reports that we had generated actually on behalf of other communities, we had to help them with Soblo. If you look at reports, here the government officials can actually now set the status for these reports and get to actually choose whether it has been acknowledged. If you check the status of each report, you can go back. Go back to the home and choose the admin portal to view the reports of the admin. Okay, when you check the reports, you'll get to check the status as an admin, and then through the reports area, you can actually choose the drop down where you're going to select if it's been acknowledged, if the service has been reported, if it's in progress, and if at all services are actually being received within different communities. When you look at the area of reporting an issue, there are different things that are actually included. Looking at the right-hand side, you can see actually what happens when you report. All these reports are actually anonymous, so users do not have to actually worry about their data being leaked into maybe public service areas, or they are afraid of any situation that they might be sought after for having reported a situation. The system currently works with anonymous data collection, whereby when you access the system, you can actually report and no one will know you reported, but your services are all that matter to the community. So you can be able to access the system and report at any time, any day that you are willing to do so. You can actually track multiple reports. When you click track my reports, this allows you to actually view multiple reports that have also been sent as you, a user, because despite the fact that the admin has to know what has happened or like what has been reported to them, users or citizens within the country themselves have to know reports that have been actually sent out about different areas, so that they understand how services are actually being tracked and worked on within different places within the country. That is us, Team Ubuntu, with our web and USSD platform called yeah? Okay. They've asked me to actually demonstrate to you the USSD as well, so that you get to see. Log into the admin dashboard. When you log into the admin dashboard, one thing we've worked with is that this is a developmental stage of our USSD platform. So what we've managed to actually show you is the possibility of actually having people with feature phones to actually send also reports to the government individuals. Now, right now, we can go ahead and actually use, we've used Runyankore right now as a language. You can choose different languages. We have a variety of English, Luganda, Runyankore, Lusoga, Lugisu, among others. So this feature itself is supportive to different communities. You can report within whichever language you speak, and you can choose accordingly to every service that is not being delivered within your community, and you will be heard and listened to. All reports are received on the web dashboard, and your government official can be able to view these reports and access them and actually act upon them and keep track of them. Thank you.
Let's clap hands for them. Just another big hand clap. Before you go, I'm going to allow only one question, just because they accepted to be the first team to present. What's wrong with this? Okay, I'm going to allow one question. Anyone? Because now you are the senior developers. We can ask you questions. So do we have a question from the audience? Anyone? No question. Okay, you are safe now. So let's clap hands for them. Let's clap hands for them as they take their seats. I know that Ugandans are going to love this so very much, but I won't say anything. I'm going to keep all my comments reserved. Yeah, but I know Ugandans, especially at this time, they are definitely going to love this one. So, sorry about that. So we are going to prepare ourselves for our next team. And the next team presenting is Team Mwangaza. They are the visionaries and they are led by Ayenya Patricia. Let's give it up for the girls. I said we do it louder until they get to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my name is Brenda. I'm together with my friend Patricia. We are both junior developers. And yes, we are visionaries, as our name mentioned or says. So we've developed a system. It's actually a whole infrastructure built around public service delivery, but we built it around the normal Ugandan citizen. So currently, the systems that are available, for example, for the parish development model, the government has to tell us that they have a plan, and then they keep on making the plan, and then until it gets to the normal citizen, someone down there, like in the village, or whoever it's actually planning for. So our app or system is a whole infrastructure that enables people to actually be the ones to start all these processes. So sorry. Imagine someone in a village, maybe in northern Uganda, that wants to access like the parish development model services, and they do not know how to actually start, or they have to sit and actually wait for the government to reach to them. So this system that we are building does not target only one service, but most of the public services that the government is trying to reach out to people. So for the sake of accountability, this system is also going to enable everyone be accountable at every stage of public service delivery. So the system is called Pidano currently, which is an actually phrase that is translated as for the people. So from the problem statement, citizens travel hours to parish offices for basic services like birth certificates, land permits, and more of that. So just imagine a system that is AI powered. So if you do not have internet, what you do is you access the system via USSD codes, and then it tells you what to actually expect before you leave home to go and look for the services. So for this system, when you dial the USSD codes, you select a service that you want, then it tells you, actually it asks you to enter your NIN number, then it uses your NIN number to actually create for you an account in the system, and then it returns logins that you're going to use when you get access to the internet. I also would like to mention that we are not trying to remove the current systems, but for someone who is down there in the villages and they want something faster, something that, you know, when you go to follow up, they won't say you didn't submit this, you didn't submit that. So when you get internet access, you're able to actually log in with the credentials given to you, and then you're able to interface with the AI that's going to ask you a one-on-one questions on the services that you want. It's going to ask you for all the requirements that it wants for the services that you're trying to access. So this system also is powered by Sunbird AI, which has over 32 languages, Ugandan languages. So it is supposed to interpret when you speak in let's say Luganda, it interprets for the system into English, and then it's able to retrieve exactly what you're trying to get from the system. So these are some of the features that we have. Of course, the NIN verification, which is going to require us to have access to the database that has all the identity of the people. Of course, this is not like a system we are building for us, but more of us bringing an idea or a vision to the government that we can actually make public service delivery better, and also ensure that everyone is accountable for everything at every stage that it goes through. So yes, we have the USSD service menu, the admin dashboard, which is we have for the parish chief, who is responsible for getting access to the funds and then organizing the communities into groups so that they're able to utilize the money well. So if the system actually detects that so and so completed everything and the documents were all verified, but they haven't actually received the funds, or no agent was sent out to actually help them or give them the funds, it escalates the issue to the next person. It could be the minister of local government. As I mentioned, it's for accountability so that we know you actually submitted, not like the way you go to NIRA and then you did everything right, but then they're telling you this was wrong, or they can't really explain what happened. Yeah, so we have a simple demo. As I mentioned, this is a whole infrastructure, so we have to make sure the whole pipeline is in place. So we have a simple demo there for how someone is going to access the USSD menu and be able to create an account and get the logins. So here it shows it's giving the person the information that they need to come with once they reach the offices, or when they get access to the internet, when they want to actually access the information. Then this is our chat, the AI that is supposed to actually translate depending on the language selected up there. When we're doing the demo, forgot to select the language, but then yes, we have very many languages there. As I mentioned, over 32 of them, so it can translate. When you type in Luganda or Acholi, it translates, and then you're able to actually receive the information in your language. From where I come from, we are taught how to write our language right from the lower classes. So at least if I don't know English, I know how to write my language. So that wouldn't be a problem. I can type into the AI and then it can translate. Yes, thank you so much. That's what I built. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? Anyone with a question? None? Okay. Let's clap for her again.
We're now going to have the next team, and the next team is the next team from the AI Vibe Coding Hackathon is Team Boabob. Is it Boabob? I hope that's how they pronounce it. Yeah, we are left with Team Boabob as well as Baop. What? Ah, guys, someone has to take over. What? Baobab. Baobao. Okay, guys, I come from Kabale. It's actually really, really far. So you're going to excuse me on that. Yeah, let's give a big hand clap to the team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Margaret Nanyonga. So this is Team Baobao, as they have presented us. And then we're working on a mobile application that is called Skill Proof. So basically, Skill Proof is a mobile application that is going to be helping youth, basically, that are looking for employment, and those who are being certified in different fields, but they are not able to find employment. So this application is going to help us locate those people and also help them reach to employment. So these are the people that have worked on the project. Asungura is there, Margaret Nanyonga, myself, and Amarat, she's in the control room. So as I've explained how skill proof is working, so basically in Uganda now, we are really facing a problem of unemployment, especially as the youth, since we really have some employers feel like we are underqualified, especially according to our documents, according to our age. So they look at you, they feel like you're too young to really do software. You're too young to really build an application that can be used by other people. So that is really the main problem. So that's what skill proof is here to solve. Thank you.
So according to research, we found out that youth needs, most of them are not in education, they are not employed, and they are not talented. So 42.6% are unemployed and 90% are in informal employment. So informal employment 90%, and new job seekers are 700,000 per year. So as skill proof, we have come up with a solution. We built a mobile application which is going to bridge the gap between learning and employment. We are able to provide the youth or the people who are using the application with skills, practical skills. We train them, we verify their skills, and we connect them into work with interested employers who are looking for talented talents. So
yes, so our call to action. So our vision is to transform the hiring process by focusing on verified skills, not only qualifications. Yes, so we are calling upon investors, we're calling upon employers, investors, mentors, and the next generation, so that we can empower these young people that have verified skills into this hiring process. Yes, so there are very many Ugandans that have verified skills, and they are actually looking for employment, and this problem we are solving is going to help them meet what they really deserve. And also, we are going to use technology to improve on this hiring process by going through this solution as we have been building it. Yes, so we have an updated APK. You can scan it and
the updated APK, you can scan it to go through our mobile application, and you actually see what we have been building. Thank you.
So we are going to have our demo video showcasing the mobile application that we have been able to build. So like you can see, we have the landing screen which have been passed. Someone logs in into the application, and then you ask if you want to learn the practical skills or if you are an employer hiring. Then you're able to create your account, and then you're able to log into the application. So as the password is being put, so that's the dashboard that you face when you have already logged into the platform. Then you're able to check and go through the skills that you first choose the skill that you want to learn, then you are able to continue. So after learning, we are able to verify your skills according to the way you performed. So after verifying your skills, we are able to connect you into the world of work according to the skills that you showcased and how you performed. We connect you to the gigs that are around. Yeah, so basically that's what our mobile application was all about. In future, we plan to put it on Play Store and continue the development phase, since right now we only have the downloaded APK that someone can use to test the application. Thank you.
Since people don't have questions, let me ask, what technologies did you use?
So for the mobile application, we used React Native Expo, and then on front end, so back end, we used Nest.js with Prisma ORM and Neon database. We hosted the back end on Render. It's already live.
Oh, okay. I was asking for a friend. I hope my friend has heard who I asked for. All right, let's give them a very big hand clap. All right, we have the last team now, and we are coming to the end of our session. Team Shuja, the champions, led by Mariam. Do we have Team Shuja ready? Let's give it up for Team Shuja. Guys, louder. Give them energy. Since morning, they have been coding, debugging, bugging.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay, so I think I can start as they're fixing the issue. Is that okay? All right, so you've heard from all our partners, all our speakers. They've continuously talked about the unemployed youth. But as they were talking about the statistics of the unemployed youth, they also talked about the statistics of the creators. Because with the age of social media, there is a new role that has come up, which is the creator role. And so many people are earning from that. But most of the youths are not informed of how people are earning from this. How, for example, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have WhatsApp itself. People are creating content, people are running ads, and they're earning income, actually monthly income, that they can use to support their families and support their life. So I'll give examples of content creators like Umra Murunji, and there's so many that you know that you follow. So these people generate monthly income every month from their social platforms. They have social media managers, and you'll wonder why. Because this is an opportunity that they have recognized, and they have got to invest in. They have got to understand, why should I invest in my socials? Why should I invest in my brand? But young people out there, especially those who don't have the resources, maybe to hire someone to manage for them their socials, someone to go through their brand and rebrand them and tell them, if you're targeting this audience, this is how you should brand your content. This is how you should create it. So that brings about our solution. Okay, so that brings about our solution, Sokoni. So Sokoni means marketplace. Marketplace meaning a place whereby you can come, be able to market your product, be able to teach also others. So I've talked about social media. There is another trend that is going on. We have very many small business owners, even big businesses, basically running their TikTok platforms. So when you come to their, when you try to ask, most of them don't put their prices up for you to know how much they're charging their products. So you have to go to their inbox and ask, how much is this? All over again. So from TikTok, you have to go and send them a screenshot, then ask them, how much is this product? That's really tiring for an end user. If you want to give me your product, I shouldn't go through all that burden to just access your product and buy from you. So that's also another use case that is embodied within Sokoni. Next slide. Thank you. So I've talked about the problem. 50% of the Ugandan youths are young. So that means most of us are using these social media platforms, since majority of us are young. Then 16.1% of the youth is unemployed. Like you've heard from our speakers, they have talked about the unemployment issue. But you can't continue talking about, I am unemployed, when you're not investing in yourself. There are soft skills that can really give you income, but you don't know, you may not even be informed that I can actually set up my TikTok, and every month I can get this income if I've set up a target. They don't have that information. And people who are having this information are gatekeeping it, because they don't know, if I give this information to someone, what if they beat me to it? But if you give them a platform whereby they are exchanging their information for income, I pay maybe like 10K, and I get the information from this person. Then I can learn how to monetize my content, my platform also, so that I generate income. You can proceed to the next slide. So that brings us to our solution. You first learn to earn. So a different creator will come and share their knowledge, so you learn from them. Then through that learning, you set up a shop. Now this is for the small business owners. If you want, you may be people to come and access your products through maybe, let me say TikTok, because Instagram already has this functionality, but for TikTok, they only support certain regions. So for East Africa, we are not supported. TikTok has something called TikTok Shop, whereby if you're a small business owner, you have a TikTok shop where people can access your products. But us in Uganda, in East Africa as whole, we don't have that feature. So we are bridging the gap like this. You basically comment, maybe you're asking how much. Then when you comment it, the agent will send you a link, and through that link, you go to the shop, and you can be able to see the products without having the burden of going to the WhatsApp. Then you have to wait for the business owner to come and reply you to know how much their product is. This boosts skills for the business owner, and also easy access for the end user. Then the agent sells also, we have AI whereby it can track your sales, their analytics. So if maybe your business is not doing very well, or maybe you want to enlarge it, you want to look for a loan, you can download those analytics and present them to maybe a bank and tell them, these are the sales I've been running on my content, this is how I've been running it. If maybe you don't have a bank account, small business owners don't usually invest in such things, but you have your analytics, you have actually information of how you've been running your business, so you can be able to show that to people who can give you that money. I'd like to welcome my next teammate to present.
Very good afternoon to everyone. This is Gaston Manji, full stack AI developer. So we have developed this system. It's called Sokoni. We have integrated an agent. It is used where your customers just comment on your profile, on your shop, and they get the link to the product, and immediately they can shop or they can buy the products you are trying to advertise. Then another thing, we have the assistant, where it's called the Sokoni assistant, where you get that assistance, because we are in a modern way, in an agentic world, where you don't need to call that seller, that content creator, that person, that hello, what is this? So just to ask that Sokoni AI, then it answers you, it tells you what to do and want, so that you cannot get lost. Thank you. So let me welcome the next presenter.
Yeah, my name is Mariam Wamboy, and the next part, it's our ask. So we've built this, but we need you to help us put it in the seller's hands. So we are asking for seed funding of 5,000 USDs, and that will help us run the WhatsApp Business API course, and also onboard new fast sellers, and also have a full-time AI engineer. Yeah, and also we're asking for mentorship in top tech accelerators, and also introduction to Meta's WhatsApp business solution providers. And also we're asking for a seat at the table as Uganda regulates the creator income. And yeah, and also for our product, for our roadmap to scale, there we have the Instagram app preview, the in-app payments, the tech-to-earn marketplace that we've talked about, the TikTok integration. Yeah, so I'd like to welcome my colleague to take us through the demo.
Okay, thank you very much, Mariam, for that good presentation. So my name is Johnson, developer, and I'm going to be taking us through the demo of Sokoni. Please move on to the next slide. Yeah, so this is a product, and that's how it looks like. Yeah, so already a lot has been said. So that's what the dashboard looks like. It has the learning part where you display everything. You can come, you choose a skill where you have different things showing. So when I go to learn and I choose, let me say I want to come to learn, it will display that your first sale. It will show you the proof of earning, the lessons you've done, and also it displays like what you've been doing concurrently. Yeah, so let me say you already know a skill and you want to start like showcasing it. And these are different skill packs from like different content creators. So you can decide to publish a skill. Let me say you want to do photography, that's your skill, and yeah, you want to share it with, publish it. So you describe it, its category, then maybe you want to do video editing. The YouTube link is optional, you can decide not to put, but maybe you have a YouTube link. Then when you publish it, it goes there and adds itself there as one of the packages. So you haven't yet started earning, that's why it's at 0 at the moment. So we have also the shop part, that's where that has been talking about. So a shop is where you put your product, and let me say you have any product. It can be like, for example, a dress that you want to push out there for people to find, or because they're going to find it using the link. So you name its price, describe it, and all that. Then of course you can put the link to where it's going to be found, then it will be added. So the product is there, so people can be able to find it from your platform. Now, how are you going to be able to find the product? That's where we come to the agent. So the agent is where you're going to be able to guide, it's going to be able to guide us for you to be able to get that link towards the product. So let me say you have a rule that you've created that is price, whereby anyone who breaks price will receive a link, right? So you've set the price, maybe you have attached the product and the reply message that will come. So ideally, this is just a rule. It can be any word. So when you tell someone like on Instagram where people say, name this product, or you put a keyword, then it brings automatically the link. So here I'll choose our product that we added, the dress, and I'll create the rule. So the rule has been added, and you can see which is the dress, which is the product I just added initially. So when I push price, because it's the rule that I created, someone is supposed to be able to receive the link. So that's the link which will enable them access the product that you've added. Yeah, so that's how the agent in simple terms work. So of course, we have the insights platform. That one just shows you like now the product, how it's performing. So far we added the address and different analytics of how you've been active, the most common business hours. Yeah, this is more like just to give you insights of how you're performing throughout throughout the application. Yeah, so of course, you can also have the proof of trading, just like your license, whereby someone can know that what you think is legit and you're not scamming them. Then that's the assistant that we're talking about. It works well using Grok. So like you see, we're asking what is Sokoni. It's an e-commerce platform. Then maybe you can want to ask, how do you start? It will still tell you to start. So it's really working well, and it really responds everything the way you really want it to do. You can ask it any question. If you're maybe saying, how do I find a product? It will still give you the exact reasons you want to find products. You can use the search bar tool on our website. So it just gives you proper guidance on how to use the platform. Yeah. So ideally, that's how the chatbot works. And I believe that calls it to the end of the presentation of the demo. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very, very much. Quick question for you guys as well. If you were asked to change one thing on your application, what would that be?
Okay, I think adding local language support for different people, because not everyone knows English. So that's one thing I would change.
Okay, I think I meant to say remove. Okay, let me change, because that's adding. So if you were to remove one feature on your app, what feature would that be and why?
Maybe you can specify. Maybe there's a feature you feel like we should remove.
Yeah. All right, let's give them a very big hand clap. Yeah, that was just me tempting you. Yeah, after you saying all your features are great, and then after you are like, but I can remove this, but you were woke. I don't know if you were woke or if it was Solomon or Pio, because Solomon kept whispering, you can only add, you cannot remove. Solomon? Anyway, thank you so much, Refactory and Google Developer Groups for supporting us with this program. And we have our partners who were here from the very beginning in the morning. Defenders Protection Initiative. They have been looking out for the teams they love the most, both from the students, the university developers, as well as the Little Tech founders. So now what we are going to do, we are going to have them come forward on the stage. We already have a photographer here ready to capture the moment. They have presents for the winning team. Okay, let's not say the winning team. Let's say the team they loved the most. Are we ready? Are we ready to hear what team that is? But let's first have the partners. Let's give them a very big hand clap. Thank you so much, Defenders Protection Initiative, for being our partners, for working with us, for partnering with us. We love everything that you are doing and the support that you are giving us. Let's give them a very big, guys, you have to clap because you don't know if it's you who is going to be red. Yes, let's give it up again, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DPI. We love the work that you are doing. Let's give it up, guys. Let's give it up, guys.
And you are now listening.
Hey, guys, we are clapping for Investor. Hey, Investor Tuse Munyumba. All right, so we are going to start with let's get to the stage. So we are going to start with the senior developers. I think let me call them that. So for the senior developers, who do you guys think? Gaza. Hey. Team Shuja. The Team Shuja is the one raising. Team Our partners from Defenders Protection Initiative felt they had a very cool, amazing application. They want to give us an opportunity as Ugandans to report everything we feel is not right with the public sector so that it can be corrected. Well done, well done, well done. Yeah, so we can move, I guess. Yeah, please. Congratulations. Let's clap hands for them. Let's clap hands for them.